Great. Good morning, Jinder. Thanks for coming on this podcast with me. Um, I met Jadir through the Pilot Skills Digital Egg program, and he caught my attention right away because he was so positive, not just at the beginning, but throughout the whole time, and then throughout the whole time that he was applying for jobs and looking for jobs. And um, you, Jadir, you applied for like how many jobs? Hundreds?
Hundreds, yeah,
Yeah, and
hundreds.
you never gave up and you were positive every single time and you were so organized. It's incredible because it's such a difficult thing to go through job hunting. Like, even when I just apply for one and it doesn't go through, I'm like bummed about it. So it was pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you for your kind words, Kate.
So, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Where are you from?
Yeah, well, I am originally from Brazil, and I've been living here in Canada for 2.5 years. I am a procurement professional, and I love learning things. I love learning new ways to communicate. I love learning different languages. I also speak, besides English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese is my native language. And this is the way I like to develop myself.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to learn Spanish or Portuguese.
Yeah, beautiful languages.
So, how come you found yourself in pallet skills? What brought you there?
Yeah, actually, I've always worked in agribusiness. And when I got in Canada, I didn't have Canadian experience. I was struggling to find a job. I was in a survival job, and I thought that I would need help. I would need mentors. And I found that program that helped people to get jobs in agribusiness, which was my original field of work. So I got registered and I loved what I found there. I loved meeting you, and we never stopped talking since
Yeah.
that time. Always in touch, helping each other. And I honestly believe, Kate, we need mentors. We need people to show us the way, especially when we are trying to evolve in our careers to take the next step. Sometimes we have blind spots we don't even know, and these are the blind spots that are not allowing us to succeed in our next movement or in our job hunt. So the mentors, they have trained eyes and they can show us the way. Of course, there's no miracle. They don't transform us. We transform ourselves
Hmm.
if we listen to the mentors, do what they say, and of course, there's a lot of hard work because we need to be humble and react well to sometimes personal problems we don't know we have. Yeah,
Hmm. I love how you said that we're the ones that do the transformation. We have to put in the work, and
yeah,
there's no magic. It's not going to just happen by itself. Yeah.
yeah. I wish there was, someone saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, now you change your behavior." No,
Yeah.
no way. You gotta
Everyone
do
needs
that.
that.
Poof. Yeah, no, you gotta do that yourself. And being self-conscious about conscious about your problems and your skills, working your strengths and weaknesses. So there's a lot of dedication and maturity involved in all the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how did you manage to stay so positive throughout everything?
Yeah, well, Kate, sometimes I feel that people, and even I do it sometimes, we focus at the moment only and think, oh, what a huge problem. What a massive problem I have to solve. This is the end of the world. But come on, if you step back for a second and think about your life, you've probably faced worse situations when you were probably younger and you were not so mature, and you made it. Here you are. So if you think a bit about how your story has happened so far, you can easily breathe and make the right decision, see the big picture. You know, as an immigrant, for example, I came from a really hard immigration process in Canada. I had to take multiple language tests. I failed. I tried again. And when I got here and faced like a problem in the daily business life, I said, come on, I came from far away to get here and now oh my life is over. No, I am gonna overcome this. So this my secret, which is not a secret, is look at the big picture, think about your life story, and of course you can find a better way to do things as you have done before. Believe in
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I love how you said that. You know, when you're job searching though, and it takes such a long time, and it feels like you're maybe doing something wrong, so you just want to change things, you just want to do whatever it is that you need to do so that you can get a job, right? How do you stay calm and trust the process?
Yeah, well, I have discipline. I have set a goal, personal goal to myself for applying for at least one job every day in the weekdays. I had to have my weekend, but at least 5 jobs per week and jobs with my profile. So I was committed to that. I could be watching a movie, I could be complaining about not having a better job, but no. While I did it, but I also did the applications. And I tried also to learn from the last experience I had and think, how could I do better? Of course, my mentors helped me a lot with the feedbacks. I trained the interviews, the job interviews before it happened, and I could feel I was improving. I got fast answers. I got faster answers. Sorry,
Hmm.
I got my train of thought was better explained, and everything is an experience, right? And we can practice as well, being a positive person with small actions. If you, for example, get to a full parking lot. You think, oh my, what a miserable life. No, you can think, I will try, I'll give it a chance and drive in. Probably there must be someone living right now and there will be my spot waiting for me, you know. You practice being positive, and when you realize you're doing it in every fields of your life.
Hmm. I think sometimes
Did I
people are
did I
tempted.
answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. I think sometimes people are, we're tempted to be more negative because it feels more realistic, right? When we think something negative and it comes true, we think, oh, I was right. That
I
negative thought
knew
was
it.
right.
I knew it, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what, Kate, what I think personally, I think that it's easier to be pessimistic
Hmm.
because always the odds are all against you. This is called life, you know. Everything, it's just happening. The
Hmm.
lots of moving parts, same time, the world is still spinning. Nothing is about you. So if you don't find your way and if you don't make it, you will live your life in an easy way, believing that you're a victim of your own fate.
Hmm.
It's not entirely truth. You can do something about it. You can say, hey, no, I'm gonna react. And it's all about the way you react to things. You say, no, I can do better. Okay, wasn't for me. Let's think it was for the best. I will try next one.
Hmm.
Never give up.
So, were you always so positive?
No, no, Kate. I have to tell you a little bit about my life now, my
Hmm.
story. When I was 12 years old, I lost my dad, and yeah, I have a 1 year old little brother and another teenager sister. We both were lost, but when we looked at my little brother, I had to do something about it. I was his role model. My father was not there. My mom had to work at 3 jobs to feed us.
Yeah.
So we have to teach him things that we were learning. So I thought, how can I do it? how can I face this? And this is the biggest challenge I have ever faced in my life: raising a child, being an example. This was so tough. So from that moment on, after this life change event, I had to grow up quickly and think in a way that I could show my brother that life isn't fair, but there's something we can do about it. We can educate ourselves. We can take care of our mental health, our body. We need to move on because we are still here. We are still alive. So this was the event that triggered my mind changing, my it was a game changer for me. I realized I got more positive, even in the worst situation, and this helps me, Kate, when I have a problem now, because I think, come on, I've been through a lot of worse situations before, so
Yeah.
this is nothing, right? And this is not my story. We all probably have something we lost that we loved, we suffered in our lives during college, at of our first job or whatever is the situation. So use it as a reference. Don't use it to say sorry, to feel sorry about yourself, but use it as a rock to build your own castle. Use it as a rock to build your way to success and say, hey, I was in a bad place, now I'm not, so I will keep moving.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. I have 4 kids, and it is incredibly difficult raising kids.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
that's
My goodness.
amazing that you were able
Thank
to
you.
see a way to be such a positive influence and
Yeah.
to continue pushing through that so that you could be there for your brother. That's incredible.
I had to, right? No option. There was no, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm also a victim. I had to. And I was there.
That's amazing. A lot of
Thank you.
teenagers wouldn't have done that or wouldn't have done it with that positive attitude, right? I think sometimes, even as parents, right, even as adults, we kind of try to be the bare minimum rather than trying to be a role model.
Yeah. And it's a lot of responsibility, right? When someone is looking at you and thinking, I will behave like this person. So we can't make mistakes, but we do. We are all humans, right? So it's a lot of responsibility in such a young age, but I had to take care, to be cautious, not respect my mother because my mother was still there, working hard. I couldn't replace her as well, so I had to make the bridge between. We gotta do our part and respect mom. It was tough.
Yeah, yeah, very tough. Um, so when you're feeling down now, what do you do?
Besides thinking about my life story, there's a here in Canada a recent place I like to go. As I told you, I had a survival job when I got here. I couldn't find a job in my professional field of work. I was a bartender, a horrible one. I'm good at having drinks, not making them. Yeah, and during all the time that I was doing what I had to do to survive, I always thought one day I want to sit on the other side of the counter as a customer, as a client, have a drink, and look at this bar and say, "Oh my, I can't believe I left this place." Not because there's no problem. Being a bartender is an honest job. I learned a lot. I improved my English skills, but it wasn't. I could do more. I could contribute more. I knew it. So I always thought about a day that I would go back there and see the other side of the counter. So sometimes when I feel down, I feel, especially during winter, that things are not all today. It's not a good day. I go there. I don't have to drink anything. I just visit people. smile, show them that it's possible to live, to find better jobs if they want to.
Hmm.
And I like to be there with them and think about how was my recent story in Canada at my beginning here. This helps me a lot. I leave that place always with a good vibe, uh, relieved that I now can go to my other official job, professional job,
Hmm.
and that's what I do. I do. I can do it physically, go to a place, but sometimes people, if they can't do that, they might find another way to, I don't know, see pictures or see their LinkedIn, roll down to the beginning of their careers and think, oh my, I came so far. I have evolved. Look at me now, and find energy to keep moving.
Hmm. That's also incredible. I think sometimes people are tempted to almost hate their survival job in that place.
Yeah, and it's tricky because sometimes when you make enough money that which wasn't my case, that you can pay your bills, you tend to say, okay, this is my safety. I need to still stay here. I have bills to pay. Uh, it's no joke. I can't have this revenue. Uh, I can't make less than that, and they forget that their true purpose here was not that one.
Hmm.
It's you got to be committed to your job hunt. You got to be committed to your career. And in my case, I love what I do. So this
Yeah.
helps a lot because I said I love what I do. I need to go back to my field of work. If they don't, they can find other jobs with transferable skills. And the mentors, they can show people that they are able to do that. And this is what we used to discuss, remember, how to apply previous knowledge in a new culture, in a new world. It's possible. You don't need to be forever in your survival job or in a job you don't like.
Hmm. Yeah. You know, when you were saying you wanted to be a role model for your brother, do you have anyone that was a role model for you?
Kate, I didn't have anyone specifically, but I always observed people, the way they behaved, and I always wanted to be like some of the people I was dealing with at work or in school. And I have a very good friend that unfortunately he has also passed away. He had uh, a sickness called sickle cell disease. So frequently he had pain crisis and had to go to the hospital. But he was an angel. Uh, he was an angel, and I liked to go to visit him, to show him the bright side, that when he was there treating his himself, he could read, play chess, watch movies, things that he liked to do. Show him the bright side, and he could show me other good things about my life that I was living outside. And it was for a short time, like 5 to 10 days. Then he was allowed to leave the hospital and live his regular life. We worked together and we got so close. So this friend taught me a lot about how privileged we are uh, to be here, healthy, able to work and manage our own lives with no pain, with no limitations, and that sometimes we need to take a break, to rest, to treat ourselves. Otherwise, we can break. So I learned a lot with this friend, and I think this is the closest person I have as a role model. He was about my age, so we were in similar maturity levels.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah. I think we often take our health for granted. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So, what about your sister?
Oh, my sister and I, we are close because we raised our brother, and sometimes most of our time we spend talking about him, about how is he going, how is he
Yeah.
doing. He's at college now, and we discuss a lot about, hey, about him. But we besides brothers, we had to become friends. We had to be aligned, and we are really different people. We are
Mm-hmm.
opposite. I can't say she is as positive as I am, but she has her own way to react, and she's a real fighter. She has just finished her PhD level
Wow.
in Brazil. Yeah, and she had a master's, a PhD now, and she intends to visit me next year.
Oh,
So
good.
she's a an example for me, a person that educated herself, believe in education, and hard worker, right? Over like 10 years studying and delivering content. So yeah, she's
Wow.
awesome.
Good for her. And your younger brother?
Yeah, he's at college now, studying economics back in Brazil. It's, you know, we have 11 or 12 years, almost 11 years. Our difference is huge, and he's from another generation, Gen Z. So we need to know how to deal with him because there's always conflict. And
Mm-hmm.
come on, there's no right or wrong. We need to find a common ground, then discuss what's the best for him, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I can't live my life forever worrying about what he's about to do or what
Yeah.
he's not doing. I had to let it go
Yeah.
when I moved to Canada, especially because I'm in another country.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go back there and say, hey, you should do this or that. I trust the education I gave him, and I
Mm-hmm.
trust he'll make the right choice when the time comes. And if he's not doing that, well, I'm sorry. I tried. I did my best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's some
It's not.
really good.
It's not. It's not all on me
Yeah.
as parents. I'm not a parent, but
Yeah.
I'm not officially a father. But we need to trust the work we've done with our
Mm-hmm.
kids. We need to say, "Wow, I gave him orientation, advice as much as I could, the best I could do.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Now he
agree.
decides what to do, right?"
Yeah. I think too it's so hard as parents to let go, but they're going to make mistakes. And
Yeah,
there's
and
nothing
it's
you can
part,
do
right?
about
It's
it.
part of the process. How many
Yes.
mistakes have we done?
Yeah.
A lot, my
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, 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 same, same. And I know I needed to make some of those mistakes. I needed to figure out certain parts on my own. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes parents want to control a bit or, intervene, and sometimes it doesn't help.
Yeah, my mom says something that I think it's interesting. At the beginning, it pissed me off, but I understand her. She says that a bird just learned how to fly when the bird mom, pulls the little bird out of the nest.
Hmm.
If they don't learn how to fly, they fall down. So you gotta learn, right? And this is the way she raised us, my sister and I, mostly pulling us out of the nest and saying, "Go find your way, go educate yourself, go to college, learn languages, work hard."
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's harder
And
to do that with the little one, the younger brother, but with
yes,
us it worked.
yes. Wow, that's really incredible. So, how are things now with your job?
Everything is awesome. Well, as I said, I love what I do, and there's a lot of opportunities. I learn a lot because business in Brazil and business in Canada, they are entirely different. However, there are some similarities, but I cannot just transfer it from one to another. I need to build the bridge, bring the context, explain details, be supported by numbers, and of course, use my communication skills to make people understand that there is another way to do things and it
Mm-hmm.
works. And the same with me. Oh, there are many very good things here in Canada that I thought I would never be able to figure out that myself, So it has been a beautiful and transforming journey for me, professionally and personally.
I like how you keep saying, you're helping someone else see things in a certain way, like whether it's your brother or someone at work, and you're not just getting mad, you're not just saying my way is right and yours is wrong. You're
Oh
trying
no,
to,
yeah,
you said you're trying to bridge that and work together. I think
yeah,
sometimes it's really hard for us to do. It can be hard to understand and see someone else's point of view and to understand it so well that you can communicate in order to build a bridge.
yeah. I always assume that everyone, people are good. Everyone is a good person. There must be a reason why they don't want to do this or that. And I need to understand this reason so I can overcome this barrier.
Hmm.
You know, there's no simply, I don't want to do that. Who cares? No, there must be a reason, a good reason. Maybe the
Hmm.
person doesn't want to change, but I can show how change is good for life. Maybe the person is afraid of like more work to do. Okay, we are in 2024. AI is here. We have technology in our favor
That's right.
that can help us to do things, not do it for us, but help us
Yes.
how to do things. Use it to make things in faster. You know,
Hmm.
and I like to show this other side, this positive side to then alternatives. And then we don't breed, you don't build walls, we build bridges, we connect.
Hmm.
At least I try.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so sometimes when people try to be positive like you, we tend to try to be nice instead of being kind. And then sometimes people walk all over us or push our boundaries, do something inappropriate, say something inappropriate, or just not polite. How do you manage to keep those boundaries and still, you're showing respect to others, but also teaching others that you deserve respect too
Yeah.
while being kind?
Well, if it goes like against my personal values, if someone is racist or homophobic, it's unacceptable, and I stand and I'm crystal clear. This is unacceptable. Of course, politely, but I always make my point. But when it's just a person being rude, I think that that person, oh, this is a funny thing I will tell, but that person must have a like a stomach ache, must need to go to the washroom. I don't know. They
Yeah.
must have something happening that I don't know. I'm not aware. So I would think the best and try to find other ways or talk to people in another moment, maybe, because it's common, right? People, they are not always good, and if they are rude with me, I think that it's their problem. And there's a hidden pleasure of being polite with rude people, because you say, I'm not like that, I'm gonna be even politer, can I say that?
Yeah,
Even more
yeah.
polite.
Yeah.
Even more polite than this person, because I'm not like that. If
Hmm.
he or she, they are not being cool, it's their problem, not me.
Hmm.
You know, split, find the limit where you stop, the limit you go, and it where begins the other person's behavior and react. And when you do that, people, they disarm themselves. They say, okay, I gotta change my behavior because this person is so nice with me, and I am being stupid and a jerk, so I need to do better. I can do better. So it has the power to transform the conversation and change things.
Have you ever come across someone who's just a real jerk and
Yes.
doesn't want to change? And no matter how nice you are,
Yeah.
they
And
stay on.
this person, some people, right? But I will talk about one person that came to my mind specifically, was the person that taught me the most, because I looked at this person as a role model. This is the way I don't want to be. This is
Hmm.
not the way I want to be. What he's doing now, okay, like this, I am doing the opposite. I used it as a reference. how would this person react in a situation like this? Okay, I will do the opposite. So it became a guideline for me.
Mhm.
S- yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think often we notice like this is how I don't want to be, but we're forgetting some of those follow-up steps of actually changing our behavior so that it is the opposite.
yeah. We need to be always aware that we are in movement. We are evolving. I can't behave the same way I was behaving when I got in Canada. I've been living here for 2 years and a half. I need to move with the place, with the culture, with the language skills. I'm no longer that speaker that got here 2 years and a half. We need to be aware that we are in movement. Things are moving. We need to move along. Otherwise, we will be living in the past, stuck in the past.
Mhm. Yeah. So how do you like that change is uncomfortable? How do you keep moving forward in it and continually pushing yourself to change and get better?
Living is uncomfortable. You gotta eat vegetables. You gotta go to the gym. You gotta, I don't know, whatever, clean our house. It's not fun. It's not 100% of the time having fun. I'm happy forever. So I internalized this feeling of life is not always being happy or being on a vacation. And I do what must be done and I deliver it. I need to be. I need to do that. Then I go and I do, and I don't I try not to complain because complaining sometimes it makes things worse than they really are. If I try to do it quiet, maybe it will go faster instead of
Mm-hmm.
complaining and telling other people that how unfair it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Did I answer your question?
yeah, yeah. But how, when you're feeling down or feeling like things are difficult, if you're not complaining and you're trying to be positive, how do you have some kind of an outlet for your feelings or your thoughts?
Well, I like art and I like to write and to paint. And this is something I do with really low expectations. I don't know how to draw things. It's horrible, like a kid's drawing. But that's a space, a safe space that I have for my mental health maintenance. I don't need to be perfect here. I don't need to be Picasso or Da Vinci. I just want to relax, and in the process of doing that, you think you make like self-reflection, think about what's going on, about the way you behave and why is this happening. You analyze yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then you find answers. This is the way I do it. And if I need to discharge that burden, that heavy energy, bad energy that I have, I write it down, put it in a paper, and I read it later, and I think, oh my, the next day, of course, I sleep. Next day I read it and say, oh no, I can't be like that. This is bad for my health. Forget
Yeah.
it. Let's forgive. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it will make my hair fall, but I'm already bald.
That's awesome. Okay, how do you see forgiveness?
Oh, it's tough. It's rare, and it's a powerful tool you 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 have. It's not quick for depending on the offense or depending on the problem, but it's something you always need to think about. Forgive, and I'm talking about forgiving yourself and forgiving others, especially ourselves first, because we are. I believe we are all committed to excellence. We want to do things right. We want to make more money. We want to be promoted. There's a lot of pressure, and it's a heavy burden to carry. But if you don't forgive yourselves and think, come on, do a little bit today, tomorrow you do more, and you keep trying day by day. You don't. If you don't forgive yourself, you. You won't sleep, you won't live, you won't find pleasure doing other things. It will be just that life chasing an impossible goal, because human beings, they are always wanting, we always want something else, we always want more. And forgiving others it's hard. However, there is a little button that you can adjust and make it easier, and I will tell you which button is this one. It's called expectation. If you lower your expectation to a minimum level, if the person says good morning, you think it's awesome. Good morning, hey, good morning to you too, because you're not expecting that. If you
Yeah.
lower your expectations, oh, your life will be way better. And when people, they do silly things, or they are good, you you love it because you don't expect them to be. So if they offend you, coming back to your question, if they offend you, is because you expect them not to do that. Then you get frustrated. But if you don't expect them to do that, well, probably they will offend me. You don't get hit, you know. You don't take it personal. Oh, he or she offended me. Well, his problem. Let me react in the best way I can, because my expectation was low. Did I answer your question? Was it clear, my explanation?
Yeah.
Lowering your expectations can help you to forgive people faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you, though, when you're trying to be positive and think positively about other people while still having a low expectation of them or anticipating that they might offend you?
It's the problem is not with me. The problem is about them, and they might have a reason for that I don't know. And if they don't want to share, I'm all ears. If they don't want to share, just say what's going on. Well, I respect. It's their choice, right? People are not. It's not mandatory to be always in a good mood. So this is what I think, and I respect that. I react the best way I can, even though people are not always nice. This is life, right? We're all humans. We're trying to be civilized, live together, so we need to understand the boundaries of each personality.
One thing that struck me about your time in your survival job and you saying that you love to come back there and talk to people, often when we're in a position in our life where we're not happy, it's harder to see other people and interact with them and enjoy them and be there for them because we're going through our own pain.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to, be friends with so many people there and still make that a positive experience and even leaving it a positive experience and coming back to it a positive experience?
Yeah, I have a friend that worked there with me. He said when he left, I don't want to ever come back here.
Yeah.
And he hates me because I always come back there. And well, it's about the way you react. If I wasn't able to connect to people during the time I worked there, probably now, probably that I'm out of their reality. I'm no longer part of the equation, so they might open up to me and talk about their problems, so I can figure out what happened back there. Just listening to people, I think, is the way I connect. And when you listen, you understand. When you truly listen to people, you understand their reasons, and you get why they are so upset. So, and you bring light. Try to bring light. Smile. Looking at people's eyes and smiling. It's a powerful tool. If you just do that and say nothing, probably will transform someone's day, make the person's day. And doing it in a routine life, oh, you can make people's life better while you're there interacting with them.
Yeah,
This is what I believe.
yeah, that's a good point. Um, how how do you ask good questions to get people talking?
You don't.
Mm.
You let them show what they want to you, and from what they're saying, you dig a little bit about it. Oh, really? Tell me more about how it works. And as a foreigner here, as an immigrant, I have this perfect excuse because I say, "Oh, in Brazil, things were not like this. Can you explain me how it works?" So people, they like to feel that they are helping as well, right?
Yeah.
And they start explaining and then start opening up. So when you show genuine interest in other person, you definitely can connect and talk. And even if you're not talking about life or deep things as we're doing here and now, if you're just talk about work, a procedure or whatever, uh, make people talk, and they will open up.
Mhm. That's great. I really appreciate how you explain things.
Thank
It's
you, Kate.
you say it in a new way, in a refreshing way, and I think that's really helpful to help people consider it from a different angle and remember it and hopefully implement it so that we can be more positive and help other people have have a better life too. Impact
Yeah.
our own life and impact other people's lives.
Hopefully, yeah, this is something I like to do, to have a positive impact in people's life. And if I, could do that to everyone, I would.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been a really interesting conversation, and I can't wait to share it with other people.
Thank you. You were so kind inviting me, and I'm happy we could find the time in our busy schedules and do it. It's always a pleasure to meet and talk to you, even
You as
virtually.
well. You as well.
Thank you very much, Kate.
Thanks, Janine.